Wars have always been won by the side that positions its forces where the enemy least expects them, exploiting terrain, surprise, and superior awareness. In the modern electromagnetic battlespace, that high ground is no longer a physical hill, but command of the invisible spectrum. The F-22 Raptor was engineered from its inception to fight and kill inside the most heavily contested and GPS-denied environments ever conceived. What follows is a technical audit of the systems that allow this extraordinary aircraft to navigate without satellites, communicate without being heard, and turn the adversary's own jamming into a fatal vulnerability. At the core of the F-22's ability to navigate without GPS is the LN-351 Embedded GPS and Inertial Navigation Modernization, a tightly coupled unit that merges M-code GPS receivers with fiber-optic gyroscopes and quartz flexure accelerometers. When satellite signals are denied, the system transitions seamlessly into pure inertial dead reckoning, measuring angular rotation through the Sagnac effect and integrating linear accelerations to maintain a continuous position solution. A dedicated blended navigation assurance function acts as an intelligent validator, cross-checking GPS inputs against the inertial track and automatically rejecting any signal that shows signs of spoofing or inconsistency. This layered architecture allows the F-22 to maintain precise tactical navigation even inside the heaviest electronic warfare bubbles. In recent flight testing, the free inertial performance of the EGI-M exceeded program accuracy targets, confirming its operational viability for long-range penetration missions. The F-22 relies on the Intra-Flight data link to communicate with other Raptors while remaining electromagnetically invisible to adversaries. Unlike the omnidirectional Link 16, IFDL uses highly directional narrow-beam antennas and advanced frequency-hopping waveforms to achieve true low probability of intercept and low probability of detection. Energy is confined to a pencil-thin beam that points only at the intended wingman, making the signal extraordinarily difficult for hostile electronic support measures to detect or geolocate. Within a formation, pilot workload is reduced because target tracks, fuel states, and weapons inventory are shared automatically without any voice transmission. The price of this stealth is interoperability, as IFDL cannot natively exchange data with F-35s or fourth-generation platforms, a limitation that currently requires dedicated gateway aircraft. The F-22's sensor suite enables it to find and engage threats without ever activating its own radar. The AN/ALR-94 Electronic Support Measures System incorporates more than 30 antennas that provide 360-degree passive coverage and can geolocate hostile emitters at ranges exceeding 250 nautical miles. By comparing time difference of arrival across its multiple apertures, the system generates fire control quality tracks that are accurate enough to cue the APG-77 radar's narrowest beam or to guide a missile directly. When an adversary jammer radiates, the Raptor exploits it in home-on-jam mode, turning the jammer into a beacon for an IM-120D shot without a single radar pulse being emitted. This silent kill chain epitomizes the first look, first shot, first kill philosophy that preserves the aircraft's stealth while making enemy electronic emissions a fatal liability. China's anti-access strategy in the South and East China Seas layers coastal radars with broadband GPS jammers deployed on artificial islands and aboard Type 055 destroyers. In this environment, the EGI-M equipped F-22 can penetrate with complete navigational autonomy, maintaining precise formation coordination through IFDL, while the ALR-94 passively builds a comprehensive threat picture. The PLA is forced into a tactical dilemma: radiate to find the Raptor and risk immediate home-on-jam engagement, or remain silent and allow the F-22s to hunt unmolested. This dynamic effectively neutralizes much of the investment in wide-area jamming because the penetrating force does not depend on the vulnerable GPS signals that the jammers are designed to deny. The result is a shift in offensive initiative that lets the F-22 dictate the terms of engagement deep inside contested airspace. The most acute challenge in a GPS-denied scenario concerns the weapons that the F-22 carries rather than the aircraft itself. Munitions like JDAM and small-diameter Bomb 1 rely heavily on M-code updates to achieve a circular error probable under 13 meters. Once the satellite link is severed, the bomb's internal inertial unit begins to drift, accumulating an error of roughly 30 meters per minute of flight. An F-22 that maintains accurate own-ship coordinates can still release on a fixed target with useful precision over short time-of-flight distances, but the margin against hardened or mobile targets shrinks rapidly. To mitigate this, operators are shifting loadouts toward alternatives that do not depend on GPS, such as the tri-mode seeker on the GBU-53B Stormbreaker or the terrain-referenced guidance of the AGM-158 JASSM-ER. These weapons ensure that the kill chain remains intact even when the adversary succeeds in denying all satellite navigation signals across the battle space. Even with the EGI-M upgrade and its formidable passive sensors, the F-22 still carries several persistent weaknesses in a high-end fight. The proprietary nature of IFDL means that its unmatched situational awareness cannot be directly shared with the wider joint force without a gateway platform such as the XQ-58 Valkyrie, an asset that itself may be vulnerable to long-range intercept. Pure inertial navigation, however precise, is subject to drift accumulation on very long sorties, and without an occasional external fix, the position error can grow beyond what is acceptable for rejoin procedures or terminal weapon guidance. The full M-code constellation is not yet complete, so coverage in low-latitude regions remains suboptimal in the near term. Additionally, home-on-jam techniques assume continuous adversary emissions. Modern electronic warfare systems that employ decoys, intermittent radiation, or sophisticated digital radio frequency memory can confuse passive geolocation and reduce kill probability. The F-22 Raptor, modernized with the LN-351 EGI-M and supported by its integrated electronic warfare suite, retains a clear dominance in air-to-air combat even when GPS and traditional data links are stripped away. Its ability to navigate autonomously, communicate with stealth, and silently target enemy emitters turns the denied environment into a medium where it can still operate decisively, while many other platforms become ineffective. The aircraft does not merely survive jamming, it actively uses the adversary's electronic emissions to its own tactical advantage, embodying a design philosophy that was ahead of its time. Nonetheless, the title of king is conditional. It depends on a network of gateway translators, up-to-date threat libraries, and a shift toward non-GPS weaponry. So long as these enablers are maintained and the modernization programs continue, the Raptor will remain the ultimate arbiter of the sky, with or without satellites overhead.